Alright, here we're supposed to give a piecewise function. I'll just make it real large right there. It looks like I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. So this first piece, let's see, he's at, that's 2, so that's 4. Okay. The second piece is at 3. The third piece is at -1. And then the last piece is at -2. Now this is just a step function. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to break up the subdomains into what it should be. I mean, in fact, we are at -4 from -infinity all the way until 0, and it's open. Okay. So you don't have to put parentheses. You can actually just leave it like that because we do have the arrows. 3 goes from 0 including. Nope, let's not do that. 0 including. And then we go to 2, including. Then -1, we are not going to include, so we went -1 from 2 to 4, and then from 4 to infinity. So there is our subdomains for these 3 steps. Okay. Now in this guy, don't worry about this. This was for me to erase. I could write something like this. Alright, now from -infinity till -2, I actually am going to be at 1. So this means that I should have an arrow going all the way to here. Open circle. Then at 2, I'm going to take off, right? -2. Yeah, so at -2, I'm going to have x plus 1. So x plus 1 graphs like this. I go to +1, and then it has a slope of 1. Okay. Then we include it. Alright, and that's it. Only 2 pieces for this guy. One's -infinity, the other's +infinity, so that's all you needed to do. Just remember this is a graph of a line, and that's a step, okay, or just a flat line. Alright. Alright, so now it looks like we're just going to evaluate this guy. If I have f of -2, I go to -2 in my domain, and then I go to see what my y-coordinate is, and it's right there. So it produces an output of 4. So input of -2, output of +4. When I put in a 1, I basically have 2 possibilities here, but I cannot come out with a open hole. It has to be closed here. So my choice has to be 1. Okay, and likewise with 2, it has to be +3 because it's got to be filled in. There's no value there. You'll go up to it, but then it switches for some reason. Okay. All right, we'll do 17 and 18 for this video. All right, so now this guy is the absolute value, so we know he's a V shape, and we're going to just move that V shape to the right location. Looks like we are not going up or down, but we are going to the left 2. Okay. So now that I have the vertex, I can look and make sure that my A value is going to tell me how I open up from there. And because he's negative, and -1 actually, I'm going to go -1 this way, -1 this way. So he's going to have a positive slope here and a negative slope there. Just try to remember that if I'm reflecting downward, it's still the V shape. He just, you know, his slopes are going to invert, okay? The parent function would have had him go like this, So now those slopes have to invert. Okay. So now with this guy, if I'm going to move over to the right 1, okay, that's a right of 1. This is down 4. So right 1, down 4. Okay, that's my vertex. So now I'm going to have a slope of 2 coming up in the left and the right. So up 1 over 2, and then up 1 over, I'm sorry, I misspoke, up 2 over 1. Then up 2 over 1. So notice that I have to produce a V shape. So try not to overthink the slopes. Okay, try not to overthink the slopes. So I'm going to go ahead and fill those in. All right. There we go. And that's it. We got slopes of 2.